Story begins with Tony traveling to a war zone to demonstrate a new missile system for the military. The presentation shows the destructive capability of Stark technology. After the demonstration, Tony travels with a military convoy through the region. Suddenly, the convoy is ambushed by armed militants. Explosions destroy vehicles. Soldiers are killed, and Tony is badly injured when metal fragments are driven close to his heart. Tony loses consciousness and later wakes up inside a cave. He realizes he has been captured by a terrorist group. A fellow prisoner named Yinsen, a doctor, explains that he saved Tony's life by building a device that prevents the metal fragments from reaching his heart. Without this device, Tony would die quickly. The terrorists demand that Tony build a powerful weapon for them. They believe that since Tony created weapons for major governments, he can do the same for them. While pretending to cooperate, Tony notices something disturbing. The terrorists are already using weapons manufactured by Stark Industries. This moment forces Tony to confront the reality of what his company's technology has become. Secretly, Tony begins working on a different project. With Yinsen's help, he builds a small but powerful energy source to keep himself alive. At the same time, he starts constructing a heavy metal suit designed not to fight wars, but to escape captivity. When the terrorists discover that Tony has been hiding his true work, they attack. Tony puts on the unfinished armor and uses it to break free. The suit is slow and crude, but extremely powerful. During the escape, Yinsen sacrifices his life so Tony can survive, reminding him not to waste his second chance. Tony destroys the weapon stockpile and escapes into the desert, where he collapses and is later rescued by the U.S. military. After returning home, Tony is clearly changed. He becomes distant and serious, no longer interested in his old lifestyle. At a press conference, Tony shocks the world by announcing that Stark Industries will stop manufacturing weapons. Investors, the media, and company leaders react with anger and confusion. Tony's longtime business partner, Obadiah Stane, strongly disagrees. While publicly supporting Tony, Obadiah secretly believes that weapons are essential for power and control and begins working against him behind the scenes. Tony isolates himself in his workshop and focuses on improving the technology he created in the cave. With the help of his artificial intelligence system, he redesigns the power source and builds a more advanced suit. This new version is lighter, faster, capable of flight, and equipped with weapon systems. Through constant testing, Tony improves the armor's performance. The process is not easy. Tony faces multiple failures, including power issues and freezing at high altitude. Each mistake helps him refine the design, showing that Ironman is created through trial and error rather than instant perfection. Meanwhile, Tony's assistant Pepper Potts grows increasingly concerned about his behavior and health. His close friend James "Rhodey" Rhodes, an officer in the Air Force, warns Tony about the risks of keeping powerful technology to himself. Tony later discovers that Stark Industries weapons are still being sold illegally. Tracing the source leads him back to the same terrorist group that captured him. Realizing he cannot ignore this, Tony uses the Iron Man suit to destroy their operations and protect civilians. For the first time, Tony actively uses his technology to prevent harm instead of creating it. This draws global attention. Governments begin questioning who Iron Man is and whether he should be controlled. To avoid revealing the truth, Tony claims that Iron Man is simply his bodyguard. Pepper, while investigating company records, uncovers evidence that Obadiah Stane has been secretly selling weapons and was involved in the attack that led to Tony's capture. When Tony confronts Obadiah, the betrayal is revealed. Obadiah uses a device to disable Tony's power source, nearly killing him, and steals the arc reactor technology. Using the stolen designs, Obadiah builds his own massive armored suit. Unlike Tony's refined version, this suit relies on size and raw strength rather than precision. Pepper helps Tony survive by installing an older power source so he can continue fighting. Tony confronts Obadiah in a destructive battle through the city. Buildings are damaged, civilians are endangered, and the consequences of unchecked power become clear. Tony uses intelligence instead of brute force. He leads Obadiah into high altitude, knowing the larger suit cannot function properly in extreme conditions. As the suit begins to fail, Pepper overloads the main arc reactor powering Stark Industries, delivering the final blow that defeats Obadiah. After the battle, the government pressures Tony to deny his involvement and provides a prepared statement for a press conference. Standing before the world, Tony hesitates, abandons the script, and openly admits the truth. The movie ends with Tony accepting responsibility for his actions and publicly embracing his identity as Iron Man, setting the foundation for everything that follows.